There's a flat earther on YouTube named Nick.
Oh, you knowing him by his first name? Okay.
His YouTube channel is called Phuket Word.
Oh, yeah, that circling sun pusher.
So I assume he must be located in Thailand. And he's made some videos about TFE, and they have moved me to respond.
Oh, I made several videos about you, clown, but you never responded to me. And I was the first flat earther that made a video about you when you participated in the modern day debate, you clown.
There are close to 2,000 videos on YouTube currently that talk about the final experiment. And that's far too many for me to watch.
And you only choose the ones from your teammates, flat earthers.
And the majority of the ones I do watch don't really warrant a response. But Phuket Word does warrant a response.
And I'm going to respond to you two clowns.
Let's start with his thoughts about the final experiment.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers.
Well, with just over a month and a half to go now before a bunch of strangers head off to Antarctica on a blind date to snuggle up in tents together and conduct what is being touted as the final experiment, let's see if the participants are actually willing and able to conduct some actual scientific observations while they are at it, and further validate their assumption that seeing the sun do a circle around you for 24 hours or more in Antarctica.
According to this clown, the sun and moon still traveling between the tropics, and he pushed that crap for the last 8 years.
Will be proof that you're on the underside of a globe compared to the North Pole.
All right, well, tell me how you really feel, Nick.
Now, first of all, let's be clear that I fundamentally disagree with the premise of this false dichotomy that's presented here.
If you and those other flat earth clowns have stick to the celestial data for all those years, they had nothing today, no final experiment. So it's your fault, idiot.
Claiming that the Flat Earth participants follow a map that is an azimuthal equidistant North Pole projection of the Earth.
Just like the one you pushed for all those years.
To claim that this is a Flat Earth model.
Yeah, just like you pushed for all those years. And in fact, where you show your face now is an older video. You pushed the circling sun on a circular map. Do you understand that, clown?
Okay, now I'll just give this another spin and I'll step over here as if I'm crossing the equator and turning around and facing back north. I'm now south of the equator.
So this whole thing is a false dichotomy. And of course, if you use this azimuthal equidistant map projection that creates an ice ring out of Antarctica, then if you do see a sun in Antarctica going around you, it would appear to be impossible if people are claiming that this azimuthal equidistant map projection is some kind of flat Earth model.
When did you crawl back from the AE map and you're circling bullshit? So he still pushes the sun travels between the tropics. So on which map that would be? A round map or a square map?
Nick, it's actually not a false dichotomy for two reasons. First, there either is a 24-hour sun in Antarctica or there isn't. That's a valid and genuine dichotomy.
This dichotomy was created by your friend flat earthers, including this Phuket Word.
So, which is it? What do you predict we will see and why? Will we see a 24-hour sun? If you predict we will, tell us all why. you think we will see a 24-hour sun. And if you think the sun will set each day, so no 24-hour sun, tell us all why you predict that we will see that. I assume you put thoughts into your beliefs and ideas,
or agenda.
and that they're not merely arbitrary. So which do you predict and why?
Jeez, this guy predicts nothing. He's just rolling out his agenda.
Will you tell us? The next reason it's not a false dichotomy is because there are only two possible models of the Earth.
The celestial data is not related to any shape of the Earth. It's related to the coordinate system.
Now, the next thing you say, I just can't believe it.
So, right from the get-go, these guys would appear to have created something in which they would appear to win an argument that they created for themselves, not an argument that was put to them by flat earthers themselves.
If you made the same argument for the last 6, 7, 8 years, the sun is circling between the tropics on a circular map, and when they show a circling sun in Antarctica, you lost the argument. Do you understand that simple fact?
Nick, I'm literally in shock that you would say this. After all the videos I've done, there's no way anyone can claim that I came up with this argument about the 24-hour sun. This came directly from flat earthers.
Yes, of course, Duffy. Because they always say there is no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. And they give all kinds of reasons. We can see only daylight, coffee cup stick, call it internal reflection, all bullshit like that. They pushed.
Many of them. Should I say most of them? Let's go through this again.
In order to fit the heliocentric globe model, this midnight sun phenomenon must also occur for observers south of the Antarctic Circle during winter solstice. Depending how far south the observer is, the sun should be seen for several days or weeks, never fully setting, just like it does in the north. In reality, however, there is never 24-hour sunlight anywhere in Antarctica at any time of year.
In all those years, none of your flat earth friends have looked at the celestial data when it was presented to them.
Is that good enough for you? No? Okay. There's more.
Here's the problem. You should have the exact opposite 24 hours a day and 24 hours a night in the south, but it doesn't happen. And we've proven it by all of the stations reporting with their cams, and there is 24 hours of no light, because when the sun is on the Tropic of Cancer, it never gets close enough to Antarctica to light it. But when it's out here, Antarctica still gets dark. It should never get dark. It should be 24 hours of sun.
How about now? Still not enough? Okay, no problem.
Now, let's say we are trying to prove the globe or trying to prove it's flat. Should be very, very easy, right? I mean, on a globe, we would have a 24-hour sun in the southern summer. That means that the sun would circle the continent. That's quite different from the flat Earth model where the sun circles the entire Earth from above, and since Antarctica is around the outside, well, that doesn't include a circling sun, at least not around you at the bottom continent.
Are we good, Nick? No? All right.
Just to clarify, we know that you can get daylight, sunlight, but you don't see the sun in the sky for 24 hours. On a globe, it needs to be the sun's in the sky for 24 hours.
Oh, that were 3 of the biggest shields. Do you have more shields, clown?
Please tell me that's enough. No? You want at least one more? Okay, here you go.
You know, this would be easy to prove, but they hide this from us too. All we'd have to prove is go to Antarctica. Let me and you go to Antarctica, spend a week there in the summer, And let's see if the sun does a 360-degree circle all the way around us. If so, it's a ball. But if the sun comes in this way and then leaves that way, then it's not. It is what we say it is.
Oh, do you take that last one serious? He believes in talking donkeys and talking snakes and infertile sperm that can impregnate women. Oh, but you also believe in that? Clown.
Okay, Nick, please never again claim that this was my idea and not from flat earthers.
Well, that's not totally true. It was the plan from you fake ballers and these fake flat earthers from the beginning, since they pushed that circling sun 9 years ago. Do you understand, clown?
This idea definitely came straight from flat earthers. And I have many more videos like these if you need them, just let me know.
I made at least 500 to 1,000 videos over the last 9 years showing these clowns wrong. Do you think they have missed my videos?
In the words of Captain America, I can do this all day. Here's what you say next.
Nevertheless, if they are going to Antarctica and they're going to observe the sun, that's great. Let's get it on record and let's do some other experiments along the way, if you like, to further validate the claim that you're on this spinning globe Earth. Now, I've already suggested to Will Duffy, the organizer, that they could do some curvature measurement experiments.
Total useless, because we did that already many times, clown.
Again, if there was going to be a final experiment that would prove the globe or disprove the flat earth or vice versa, then what you need is a measurement of curvature.
The so-called final experiment is about the sun and not about curvature. We all know there is no curvature to measure.
But I would say that not one single participant that is going along here on the globe Earth side, that is willing to do such an experiment.
You'll need to forgive me here, but I'm a very analytical thinker. This definitely gets me in trouble at times, but it is what it is. Now, curvature does not need to be measurable to exist. I need you and all other flat earthers to acknowledge this.
The main reason people become a flat earther because we can't measure any curvature, and even if we can't measure it, we can also not see it. So that is the main reason.
If something cannot be measured, that doesn't mean it's not curved.
But what about these long distance observations where people measure the distance? So these are not measurements. Oh, okay.
It just means it can't be measured. I can think of any number of things that have curvature but cannot be measured. Let's start with the moon. The moon is clearly curved. You look up in the sky and you see a circle with a full moon. A circle has curvature. Or maybe you see a crescent moon on certain days. A crescent moon is also curved.
I love the moon, especially the footage from this guy. Amazing moons. Let me line up these towers. Same size. How come this moon is like 200% bigger? you should think this moon is in a thicker atmosphere, but the elevation difference is not much. But let's assume this. So there should be atmospheric magnification. More than here. And if it's atmospheric distortion, the pattern on the moon should also be distorted. But it isn't.
That curvature is not measurable,
Oh, that's weird. They claim to have measured it.
but it's very real. Now, you might say that the moon is too far away to be measured. Fair enough. So let's come down to Earth. I'm pretty sure your brain and my brain are curved. But guess what? We can't measure that curvature. Not without cutting open our skull, at least.
But it can be done. I can come to your place, hammer your head in pieces, and measure your brains. What kind of retard example is that? I cannot go to the moon, but I can come to you and measure your brain personally, idiot.
So if you and I are unwilling to do that, does that mean our brain is not curved? If we can't show measurable curvature, does that mean our brains are not curved? Not at all.
We can see your skull is curved, so mostly brains fill up the skull, and then your brains have to be curved. And we've seen some real brains in our lives, you know, cut open heads and see the brains, so we can measure it. But we cannot do that with the moon, idiot.
What about your DNA, Nick? You know, the double helix.
Ever seen your DNA helix, Nick? No, impossible, because DNA is transparent and nobody ever seen a DNA helix. It's just a made-up concept to visualize something that might not even exist. DNA. Hey Duffy, can you show me a real image, a real photo of a DNA helix? No, you can't.
Hopefully you would agree with me that our DNA is curved. Well, can you measure it? I don't think you can, but it's still curved. The reason you and I can't measure it is because it's so small. Things that are super small are very hard to measure. And guess what? Things that are very large are also hard to measure, like the Earth.
Oh, but I also believe you guys claim some sheepfucker from 2000 years ago measured the Earth with some stick and a shadow.
So if I cannot measure the Earth or measure the curvature of the Earth, that doesn't mean it's not curved.
Are you telling me this sheepfucker from 2000 years ago is smarter than you with the tools you can use today?
I mean, I have yet to meet a flat earther who has measured the Earth. You guys keep saying the Earth is measured flat. Well, which one of you has measured the Earth?
Ah, you're using Oakley's terms now. Measured flat. No, I don't like to use that term. You can strawman people with it, just like you do now.
I don't think any of you have. And that's okay. The Earth is really big.
400 years ago, they seems to have no problem to measure the Earth. Yeah, and even measure the Amazon with all those creepy animals and 8 meters of rain per year. Yeah, they did that. According to your own bullshit science.
I don't fault you for not being able to measure it. So don't hold globers to a standard that globers don't demand of you. The average person on Earth does not have the ability to measure the Earth by himself.
Nobody ever measured the Earth, not in the past and not in the future. It's impossible.
And that has nothing to do with whether or not there is curvature. Whether or not someone has the ability to measure something has no bearing on the size or shape or curvature of that thing. Moving on.
What if it wasn't like that, but the map projection that we were presented with for flat Earth was like this?
But that is not the case. Hold on. By accident, you pushed the North Polar projection and not the South Polar projection. Jesus Christ. Idiot.
Putting Antarctica in the middle of the flat Earth and saying this is how it works. And then you put a sun going around Antarctica like that, and this would appear to fit. So a trip to Antarctica in this case wouldn't prove anything. All they've done is taken a particular map projection.
All they have done. You must include yourself, all those clowns, on the True Earth Wiki page. Push it. The AE map polar projection. Just like you, clown. You base all theories on it. Remember, are you some demented piece of shit? Jesus Christ. Can I help you remember? Because you seem to suffer from some amnesia. Piece of shit.
And said, that's your flat Earth model, and we're going to disprove your flat Earth model because we're going to see the sun in Antarctica for 24 hours.
Stinking troll. Over the last 6, 7, 8 years, you convinced thousands and thousands of people with your slimy voice there was a circling sun between the tropics, and now you suddenly turn around. No, that's not going to happen, friend.
But if this was our map, this would work fine, and they'd have to be making a trip to the North Pole.
If this was the case, you have pulled off the same garbage. Yeah, with saying, no, there is no circling sun in the north. Clown.
To make the observation instead. So that should help you understand why this is a false dichotomy to start with, because they've just taken a map projection and assumed it as a model. If this was assumed to be the flat Earth model, then there would be no contest down in Antarctica, would it?
This is a very strange argument, Nick.
Not strange for me, because I know what these clowns are capable of.
Are you denying the 24-hour sun in the Arctic, in the north? That would be a first. Flat Earthers all confirm the 24-hour sun in the north, and there are many people who have seen it and many videos of it online.
A couple of years ago, we had these two clowns claiming there was no circling sun in the north, but thanks to their app from Andrew Mars, they think there is now.
Asteroids and
asteroids.
And asteroids.
And then asteroids, call it asteroids. Asteroids. For one thing, we've brought this up over and over and over. The 24-hour sun above the horizon in both the north and the south, there's no real footage of it. We see a bunch of CGI, probably about 5 or 6 clips of CGI, and but no real footage of it. There was a flat earther that promotes the AE map model that went to Alaska, and he was not able to capture a 24-hour above the horizon sun. So
yeah, I remember that. That was Dean Marble. And you guys, not much later, interviewed an older couple that lived in Alaska that told you there was no circling sun in the north. So where is that video at your channel? Did you delete it? I think you fabricated that interview. You realize those two elderly people lied to you. But I think you fabricated that interview to support your claims. There was no circling sun in the north. I remember this as yesterday, you clown. And I think those two elderly people were family members of yours. Where is that video from that elder couple, Jason, you liar? Why you have deleted all those videos from your channel? Why you not call these elderly people out being liars? Because today you say there is a circling sun in the north and in the south. So it would be nice if you pull up the video and call out these old farts that lied to you. But you don't do that because it was fake, you piece of shit.
This is something that's necessary for both the heliocentric model and the AE map and model in the north, and then the globe needs it as well in the south, yet we have nothing but CGI.
Again, because it should be 52 days, right? At least in the north and the south, that the sun is above the horizon, supposedly circling. And this was something that the AE mappers pushed. And Jason and I have done extensive research. So,
extensive research you did, and found no circling sun footage from the north. You sounds like Jeranism. Suddenly he have found circling sun footage in Antarctica.
it'll be great that you can actually provide some valid experiments. So again, I would submit to you, both Sean and Reds, could you guys please present us with a working map?
Call it asteroids. Call the map that we promote asteroids.
Need the bullets wrapped.
Yeah, everything. The angle,
Everything
the velocity.
Okay, does everyone understand how that works? So again,
asteroids, it will destroy you.
Shut up.
And we can take a trip there as well if we need to. Would be a lot cheaper than Antarctica, that's for sure. Let me know if you deny the 24-hour sun in the north. I think you'll be the first. But I do really like what you say next.
So my suggestion is to basically observe sunspots.
Oh. Is he trying to prove the flat earth with showing sunspots? This one shouted very loud and say, you cannot determine the shape of the earth by looking at the sky. And then laugh at Globetrotters. This one is just a fucking idiot, 100%.
If possible, while on this trip to Antarctica, and it's based on something that I observed myself when comparing sunspots seen in Phuket near the equator, and then seeing what happens to sunspots when the sun is tracked throughout the day in the UK.
100% UK inbred worm. He needs to crawl back into the earth, you piece of garbage. No, 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 no. The sunspots don't prove anything, you clown.
Hey, I think this is a great idea. Science is all about making predictions and testing them. So what predictions will you make about the sunspots that would disagree with the globe predictions?
That would be very hypocrite if we do that. Yeah, you cannot say the globers cannot do that and then do it yourself. No, 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 no. The stuff in the sky don't prove any shape of Earth.
If all your predictions agree with the globe predictions, then wouldn't that imply that the globe is the correct model? Surely you have something in relation to the sun and sunspots where you think the globe model has it wrong.
You two guys are so transparent. I look right through your bullshit. Don't you understand, clowns?
So just tell me one prediction for next month, December, where you think the globe model has something wrong. Just one. To make it easy, if you want, you can just say that the globe model predicts a 24-hour sun in Antarctica next month, and you think that prediction is wrong. But something tells me you won't say this. And something tells me you don't have a single example out of the thousands of predictions that the globe model makes. I don't think you have even one example of something that you think will be an incorrect prediction.
These fake flat earthers have weak arguments that can be easily debunked by these teammate globers, and then say all flat earthers believe in this bullshit and they are stupid. Yeah, I debunked your globe within a couple of minutes. I might show it at the end of this video, clown.
But I'll wait to hear from you though, maybe I'll be surprised. This next part is fun.
Oh yeah, I love fun, especially when flat earthers randomly draw lines on maps to the sun.
So here's an illustration of how people in different locations could collaborate during this time. I've taken a screenshot from timeanddate.com's night and day map, and it's set for UTC time, Saturday 21st of December 2024, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning now. And you can see that from Perth you could follow this line of sight to the sun here. From Antarctica you could follow this line of sight to the sun here. From the east coast of the US, the sun would be just rising maybe. From the UK there, it's well into the day. So from these different locations, people could make these observations.
No, clown, they cannot. First of all, you're using a sun and moon that are traveling between the tropics. These are called the mean sun and the mean moon. Jesus Christ, they are created to make the globe go round. Do you understand, clown? So you are telling us people on these locations see the sun in that direction? No. Not if you use the observed data. Here, the sun in Aussie land at an angle of 254. That's 254. That's in this direction. 254. Huh. Now let's use this location near the prime meridian on the 52nd latitude north. That would be here. And the sun of an angle of about 144. That's 144. That would be around this direction. And now let's use this place in Antarctica. 70 south, west 65. The sun at an angle of 112. 112. That's 90. And now we have to add 22 degrees. That makes 112. What kind of clown are you? A Shill clown. A piece of shit. Why are you still doing this crap after 8 years? Yeah, to keep the bullshit going. But I expose your fucking ass, imbecile.
With these lines of sight to the sun.
Okay, here's a great example where the globe model should have a different prediction than the flat Earth. In the globe model, the sun is many, many millions of miles away from the Earth. As such, everyone on Earth sees the same side of the sun.
On a flat Earth, we all see the same side of the sun and the moon, but not in that circling sun model. You understand that?
Meaning, no matter where you are on Earth, if you can see the sun, you would see the same sunspots.
Retard alarm!
That would not be the case.
Retard alarm! And that is why your flat Earth friends push this wrong sky model since the beginning. Otherwise, you would not be here. Do you understand that simple fact, clown?
Looking at your map here, people in Antarctica, people in the UK, and people in Australia are all looking at different sides of the sun.
Yes, and the reason your friend Nick want to do some sunspot observations to disprove the flat earth with the circling sun. This is how it is. Do you understand? He want to give you some more fake proof so you can make your point even better. Don't you understand that?
So would you predict that these people would see different sunspots? If not, why not? You see, that wouldn't make any sense on a flat Earth. On a flat Earth, when one person on the Earth is seeing the sun rise, someone else very, very far away is seeing the sun set. Now, these would be the opposite sides of the sun. So they should never see the same sunspots. So let me know if this is one prediction that you think the globe model has wrong, specifically that people won't see the same sunspots, even though the globe model predicts that everyone will see the same sunspots. Can't wait for your response.
Oh, you're going to wait for his response? Oh well, in meantime, I'm going to play that piece of shit, his video from some years ago. If the Earth was a globe, or the Sun is traveling between the tropics in 24 hours, 15 degrees an hour, the observed data would show that. Here at the March equinox, at the equator prime meridian, the sun rises at 6:03 and sets at 6:10. So that's like 7 minutes slower than 15 degrees an hour over the course of 12 hours. That's 7 minutes. And this is the opposite side. And here we also have 7 minutes difference in sunrise and sunset. So where is this 14 minutes going? If we measure the sun speed between those locations. Let's use March 20. This is also 7 minutes. And here also 7 minutes. Now let's move to March the 22nd. Sunrise 6:03, sunset 18:10. That's also 7 minutes. And here we can now see the same, of course. 7 minutes between sunrise and sunset. 42 minutes. Time difference. That's a lot over 3 days. This is a big problem for the globe and suns that travel between the tropics. And sidereal rotation, of course. So this is what I mean. You cannot construct a clock from the observed sun. And that's why they created a mean sun. Where is this 14 minutes going? Huh?
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. I've been prompted by a Flat Earth debunker to demonstrate something which I did many times when first contemplating the Flat Earth and how we see the sun, moon and stars go above our heads, and comparing that with the ball Earth model. And it's for this reason with fans and other things that spin that made me arrive at the conclusion that what we see above our heads is the result of being on a flat Earth. So let's just take a look at how that can be worked out. So if we just take a look at this scene from a distance, we have the dogs, they would be lying around the edge of the flat Earth. And we have that black ring in the center representing the North Pole on the Earth. And above that we have the center of the fan representing Polaris. And you can see that I've put a disc on one of the fan blades to represent the sun or the moon. So if I was standing at the North Pole of the flat Earth, in the center of the flat Earth, then I would look up, and directly above my head should be Polaris, the center of the fan. And then I would look down a little bit to see the sun, this white disc stuck to the fan, coming across the sky from the east to the west. Okay, just take that back a bit, put it there. So what I can do now is walk over here to where, let's say this is the equator, and I'm now I'm facing east, okay? And I look up, and here we see that the fan blades are going to come directly over my head. So the sun or the moon, they both follow the same path, come along. Remember, this is east, so they come along in the eastern sky, and it's going to come over my head. And here is the point where the sun or the moon is at its zenith if you are standing on the equator. And as it carries on, you're going to have to lean backwards to keep tracking the sun or the moon. So you can see here that this coin represents either a sunspot or a marking on the moon. So as I'm facing east and the sun or moon comes over, this marking is apparently on the top of the moon or sun that I'm looking at. As it goes overhead, I'm going to have to turn around. And now I'm effectively facing west, and I'm watching the sun or the moon go off down to the western horizon. And of course that spot or marking on the sun or the moon is now on the underside. Yeah? If I just take it backwards, it's above my head. Here's the point where I've got to turn around and watch it. So now I'm watching from further down south of the flat Earth. I've gone beyond the equator. So now I've got to angle.
Round moon, when you stand right below it. Egg-shaped moon, when you move away from it, you clown.
Slightly, the moon or the sun at its zenith will not be directly overhead. It will be some degrees lower than 90 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to, same thing, I'm heading east. The heading of my view is east, and I'm going to watch the sun come across the sky. There it is at its zenith, and I follow it off to the west. Okay. The dog's seen all this before, not impressed anymore. Let's have a look now at how this would affect star trails. So I'm looking up at the stars or the sky as if I'm somewhere north of the equator, not quite up to the North Pole, and just take a note of the direction that the blades appear to be turning from left to right. They're going across from the left to the right of the screen. Okay, now I'll just give this another spin and I'll step over here as if I'm crossing the equator and turning around and facing back north. I'm now south of the equator, and you can see that the fan blades appear to be going from the right to the left. They haven't changed their direction of spin, but I've changed my orientation to look at it. Okay, go back under and turn around, and now the blades are going from left to right again. You see, north of the equator, left to right, south of the equator, right to left. Thank you very much.